Don't ever lose your cool.
You need to keep your answers short.
You just don't rise to the bait.
All rise. Court 15A is now in session. The Honorable Magistrate Diane McCready presiding.
It's my understanding there remains one disputed issue, is that right?
We have one issue left.
We agree that the one remaining issue left is this division of the frequent flyer miles.
The wife's perspective is, I deserve everything.
It's not going to be a case about the wife wanting everything today. Our evidence will show that Ms. paid for certain items during the marriage. Mr. paid for certain items during the marriage. He got cash back on his Discover card. She got miles.
Do you think that there's any reason why she particularly should be given the mileage account and you should be left out in the cold?
No, I don't understand that.
Your dad is about to turn 80, is that correct?
He is?
Do the children have a good relationship with their grandparents?
They love their grandparents.
Would you like to take them to visit their grandparents from time to time?
Amy paid for her root canal. Do you want the miles from her root canal as well?
If they're half of the miles, then yes.
That's terrific.
Why do you think you deserve everything?
Objection, Your Honor. It's irrelevant to this issue of the frequent flyer miles. We're trying to divide them in an equitable manner.
It's my understanding, though, she wants to keep all of hers, correct?
To use for the children.
Overruled.
Why do you deserve everything, and particularly frequent flyer miles?
I earned all of them. I paid for them. I have been in an extremely verbally abusive marriage, and that's why I had said that I felt like I deserved everything.
Your Honor, would the court strike that?
He asked why she felt she wanted everything, and she just doesn't like the answer.
And I'm going to rule that it be stricken. We definitely don't want to go down that road.
I want to keep the mileage for myself and for our children. John could marry someone who works for United Airlines, and they can all go to Australia and go all over the world.
And you could marry an airline pilot who also has frequent flyer miles.
Yes, but that's not what you had asked me.
I have no further questions.
Closing argument.
Your Honor, both these clients have got equal time with the children. We shouldn't treat one person better than the other.
The court's here to make an equitable division, not equal. An equal and equitable may be the same in some circumstances, but in this particular case, it's not the same.
All right.
Thank you,
The
Your Honor.
court finds that this marriage was irretrievably broken with no chance of reconciliation. The court orders that mother, the respondent, receive 60% of the frequent flyer miles, and father will receive 40%. We have a saying in divorce court, there are no winners in a divorce, and you can clearly say that in this case, there are no losers.
Well, in exactly 5 weeks from today, John and Amy will be officially divorced. Let me ask you guys, and either one of you can respond. I did some math on this, and I calculated up how many frequent flyer miles you had, how many you had. What we wound up going to court and fighting about was $2,250. Does that seem reasonable to you guys?
In this particular case, it did seem reasonable because Amy's had a legitimate argument for why she should have those miles. John winds up earning $30,000 a year, approximately, more than Amy does every year. She's not getting any alimony from him. She has less cash available than he does, and for her, those miles were the way for her to take the dream vacation that she had always planned on taking with the children.
Zim, what do you think?
Our position was that why should John be left with absolutely nothing? All the assets were divided equally. The children were divided up equally. Why should he get no miles?
John wouldn't have had no miles.
Doesn't that just seem offensive to your sensibilities as a taxpayer? That the court system is used for a couple of lawyers to fight over some frequent flyer miles? And it just feeds the bitterness between the two. And I'm just wondering if you guys as attorneys feel any duty to try to calm the situation down so there's not any more angst than necessary going forward, or do you just see yourself as war counsel and that's not your problem going forward?
I absolutely think that the attorney's job is to calm things down. But for these folks, there was only one issue left that didn't take much court time, and that's what judges are there for, to decide disputes when the folks can't otherwise decide.
And I think it was useful to them. I think it was a useful exercise.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.